Everyone, welcome back to the channel. KG is back with a little bit of Leeds United news. We've got the new kit. I mean, we've kind of seen the kit over the last couple months, haven't we? But officially launched today. And the players involved is what I really want to talk about, because I think it kind of shows the sign that the future is now rather than in, further on at Leeds United. I think the future is definitely now, according to that kit launch photo shoot and video. Very impressive video, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Of course, as you come in or as you're watching replay, please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop your comments on the video after it's done. Shout outs to Carl Brown, Mr. P, John Abbott, Karen Curtin for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. Lewis here saying you like the new kit. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's not something that I'll probably wear. But as a design, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think you'll always have people that will find some fault in the kit. But for me, yeah, I mean it doesn't. I think the last one where I really thought, oh my days, that's an ugly one, was the one in the championship where it had like that blue stripe going up it. If you remember that one, absolutely awful. I mean, I didn't get that one, but yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. No, what's everyone saying? Yeah, man. Afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are around the world, man. Love to everybody. Leeds FC saying, I don't know about the peacock looking design. I think it's a nice little touch. I do. I think it's a nice little touch, especially when you've been around Ellen Road. You see, the peacock is a big part of it. So I think it's a nice touch on it. Are you guys going to get it before it has all the flamingo land designs on it, or what? Oh man, that's brutal, isn't it? There's nothing like knowing you're back in the championship more than seeing Flamingo Land back as your sponsor. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And Darren, this is it for me, Darren. And this is where I am, because I find the 99 2000 kits and the Strongbow kits being our best ones. But maybe it's because we were successful at the time. Like the ones last season, I never want to see again. Never want to see those kits again, because it reminds me of failure. Because we absolutely stunk out the joint in those kits, and plus they were ugly anyway. That one with the leaking ink on it, the blue ink one, absolutely vile. But Darren here saying, I don't really care if you win, you will look good, and that is 100% true. There is definitely something in that for me as well, Darren. So I'm with you there. Jonathan saying, love the new shirt, proper Leeds United colors on the Adidas stripes. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it's good, but if we don't get promoted, will it be looking as good? I think there is something to that. Andy D saying, I love Flamingo Land and supporting local business. Fair dues, man. Andrew saying, I still love that Strongbow top. Yeah, classic. Absolutely classic, man. But just before we get into the kit, Fabrizio just kind of confirmed this on the social medias here. Something that we already know, but the deal is obviously in motion here. Fabrizio just confirming that Luis Pirie, I believe that's his name, Pirie, I'm going to say, will undergo his medical test at Leeds on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Deal worth 200,000 has been agreed with Aberdeen last week, and Pirie will sign until June 2026. So there you go. Another seemingly very highly talented youngster. Once again, can't proclaim to say I've ever seen him play, but someone that scored, what was it, 51 goals for both club and country last season. Pretty decent. Yeah, get him in there and let's see what we're doing. But hopefully there's more. And for me as well, with this kind of signing, it kind of tells you that we are able to make signings. So I think any question of us not being able to before the EFL publicly ratify the deal, I think that kind of blows it out the water kind of thing, doesn't it? Because otherwise, how would he be signing? It's the same kind of process for both youngsters and for senior players. And yeah, Jason Puma had some classics too. Yeah, absolutely love those Packard Bell ones, Jason. I mean, do you remember how big the sizes were though, man? They used to flap in the wind, man. It's insane. You wear those now, you probably fly away. Absolutely massive shirts. But yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. Still have the away blue Strongbow shirt. Yeah, I love that one. That was a classic. And Andy D, just to say, simple and elegant. Wasn't hard to give us a traditional looking kit. About time. Yeah. I hear you. So let's go on to that. And here we are. Here it is for anyone that hasn't seen it. I'm sure you've seen it by now. I mean, it was, in all fairness, it was leaked quite a while ago, wasn't it? But this is it now, official, that this is the shirt. You've got the three stripes on the shoulder, two blue, one yellow in the middle, and the flamingos are on the shirt throughout. Let me see if I can just get a little closer. Surely, I think you can see that, can't you? So yeah, so there you go. And that is it. And this is the thing for me, what I want to speak about. The three players that are seen here: Perkins, Archie Gray, and Darko JB. And of course, and then on other promotional pictures, there's Mateo Joseph as well. So it does kind of tell you now that this is where Leeds United see where we're at right now. They're saying that these are the players, or these are the kind of players that are going to try and help take us to the future, because they could have easily stuck in a Luke Ayling or Liam Cooper or someone like that. But I think they know that this is now time for a fresh start. It's time for a new outlook. It's time for a new era at Leeds United. And this is it. And by the way, the video, never mind the shirt, the video with strings for Yasmin in it with JB involved is absolutely brilliant, by the way. I think that's probably the best thing about the whole kit launch. I think the video is absolutely brilliant. So, you know, big shout out to the social for the media team for doing that, because it's top tier. Absolutely love it. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, JB in particular as well, by the way, has been heavily front and center of this. And even Phil Hay has done an article about him possibly being his breakout season. I believe that too. I think he is going to be very important to the team this season. I think it's going to be somebody bought in, of course. I think we're going to have to get an experienced midfielder in there. But I do believe that the way that he plays is going to be key to how we go forward. And much like the impact that Alex Scott made for Bristol City last season, I see the same for JB, and I definitely see the same for Archie Gray too. So this for me is promising. I like the whole campaign with these new players now, the ones that are going to take us forward. How is everyone else feeling in regards to that? Lewis saying here, 49ers not playing around, love to see it. Paul saying, bring on the young guns. Yeah. David saying, thought exactly the same, KG, the next generation launch and the kit. Yeah, 100%. It would have been easy. Listen, as much as I always say I want certain players gone, there's certain players that are just not going anywhere because the teams that they should be going to can't afford them. So it would have been easy to put in Captain Liam Cooper or someone like that in there, but they have specifically focused on the young players, and I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Darren saying the KGDs are the only boys available for the photo shoot. Everyone else busy with loan deals. Tremendous. But whenever they do these campaigns, they're always very mindful of who's in vogue, who the fans love, and also who's going to be here. So there is actually something to what Darren's joking about there. But I think it is good to highlight these players. For me, Sonny Perkins, I mean, talking about Sam Surridge, don't waste your money, man. Let Sonny Perkins have a run. He will do no worse than Sam Surridge. He will do no worse. I'm sorry. Let him have a go. There's a reason why we beat off pause. We beat off competition to get Sonny Perkins in. If he's not going to get his chance here in the championship, when are we going to ever use him? Lee Waters saying, I'm torn on it. It's a lovely shirt, just £65 plus postage. Yeah, the price is a bit of a mad one still, but it's the modern game, I'm afraid. Exactly, Finn. Finn, exactly. Let Perkins cook. The thing is, we're not going to know what these guys can do unless we see them in the first team. And for me, we already missed the chances to see people like JB last season when our midfielders were stinking out the place. All of them when Adams was injured, Roca, McKennie, all of them. There would have been ample opportunities to even try them. You don't know what you would have got. Maybe you would have even got a goal from midfield. I know something really crazy like that. But now this is the time to see these guys flourish, see these time implemented into the first team. And I hope we see that. Maybe we'll even see it tomorrow in the friendly versus Man United. But, you know, not too much on that friendly, man. I hope Man United take it easy. You know, one of them. Mr. Anthrope saying all this talk of Surridge when Perkins is emerging is ridiculous. For me, it is as well. If you're not buying better than what you've got, then why bother? Why bother? We've already done this over the past couple of years, which has resulted in our relegation. Why going for another player that is a B-level player? He's not even B-level. That's being harsh to B-level players. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. Why bother? We've got Joseph in here. We got Perkins. Unless you're going for somebody who knows where the goal is, like a Pirie or someone along that line, along those lines, don't bother with it. We've already got talent in here. Gelhardt is still here too, by the way. We've still got options ourselves. And it's always funny. You always want what other people want. But if Mateo Joseph had the same goal scoring record at another club and we were linked with him, people would say, oh, we need to go and get Mateo Joseph. But because he's already here, it's like, oh, can we get better? You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. I just want to get back up on the first time of asking. I just want to get up at the first time of asking. And for me, Sam Surridge doesn't do that for me, but it is what it is. Um, Jason saying exactly, you would think the club would have learned that by now. It's not just the club, Jason, it's fans as well. It's fans as well, because a few of you have said to me about Sam Surridge that you would want him here. I don't understand it. I really don't. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's opinions. But I know that I just want better for this club, and I've wanted it for years. If we got the kind of players that I rate, we wouldn't have been relegated. And I feel confident saying that because I've got a pretty good talent ID, if I do say so myself. But listen, you get mediocre, you suffer mediocrity. You do. You get what you're given. And listen, and with Sam Surridge as well, would it even work? What's that saying? You buy cheap, you buy twice. That's what would happen. We found that out with the left back, didn't we? Didn't buy that one properly, but hey. Ah. Finn Reynolds, I mean, listen, we do need a Bamford style striker to hold up play, though, KG. Surridge has that, but you're right about him not bagging Finn. Oh man, when people say a Bamford style striker, do you know how many players can hold up the ball? It's not a special skill that football players have. Joel Perot can hold up the ball, but you know what he can also do? He can also put it in the net. This Bamford style striker, I would like a R9 style striker, a Mark Viduka style striker, players that actually score goals. This is what I'm saying, that the level needs to be raised. And if people think that Patrick Bamford is a blueprint for a striker, well, then I give up. I give up. You know what I mean? I give up. So, bloody hell, a Bamford style striker. Oh, man, let's move on anyway. But yeah, so yeah, here's the kit, and it looks nice. Shout out to anyone spending the £65 plus on it. I wish you well. But there's also, for me as well, I was hoping, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I was hoping that there was going to be a little new signing to help launch it too. I thought that they might kill two birds with one stone, and we see a new signing just quickly edited in there saying, hi, I'm at Leeds now, and it's whoever it is. But one thing I will say as well about all the players we've been linked with, we don't actually know what the 49ers are up to. We don't know anything. They haven't made an official signing yet. So we don't know the kind of players that they're in for. I go back to the Nick Hammond stuff. There wasn't one report that mentioned Nick Hammond joining Leeds United in any capacity. There was nothing. There was not one report. So we don't actually know what these guys are looking at. So although we've been linked with certain players like Darlow and all these guys, Woodman and who's the other one? Angus Gunn, yeah. There could be another goalkeeper out there that we get. And that's kind of exciting, but we're almost at the 15th of July. Please, can we get these guys in like today? That would be nice. Lewis saying no signings is crazy, not gonna lie. It is a little bit mad, but it is what it is right now, Lewis. We've gone past the point of where I thought that we could, I said in a video, was it 2 videos ago, that I hope we get 4 in this week. Hey, I'm willing to negotiate. Is 2 okay? Is 2 okay, please? Yeah, we do need some incomings, people. It's so important. As much as I'm excited about this young nucleus, and I will maintain that I'm very excited about them, we do need some proven talent in there as well. And I usually hate proven talent, but I mean the more experienced players that can play. Because JB can play, he's got all the agility in the world, ability, gets the ball back, got a good range of passing. He's got it, but he's going to need some experienced heads in there with him as well. But yeah. Bomi in the house. I think he's a Chelsea fan, and it championship got nothing on KG. Listen, still here, man. We're still here. But yeah, let's move on to a outgoing. as people have mentioned here. Marc Roca, he's close to moving to Real Betis on loan. And Fabrizio just confirming as well that not only is it a loan deal, it's the buy option clause. And I think the buy option clause is about 12 million. So if Betis do want to go through with the deal, it will be around 12 million euros they'll pay. So around what, 10 million pounds. Yeah, for me, no problem. I feel, good luck to Marc Roca. Seemed like a good guy, but just didn't work out for him here at Leeds United. Just didn't work out at all. Um, how are you guys feeling in regards to Marc Roca? Ibitoru saying here, good riddance to Roca. I mean, okay, that's fair enough. Wow. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, Marc Roca in England, I think that the game was just too much for him. His fitness wasn't good at all. I mean, I've mentioned it a few times, but at the start of the season, when he was just completing 60, 70 minutes, I thought, okay, he hasn't played much for Bayern, but it continued to the end of the season, didn't it? He was not good with his fitness. It wasn't a good thing. I think the game back in Spain will suit his game much more. His one standout game was Nottingham Forest, where Forest gave him the room to roam in the midfield. He looked absolutely brilliant, but that's because he had the time and space to do what he could do. But otherwise, it wasn't a good spell for him here. Now, that's not to say he was a bad player. As Richard says here, Roca was out his depth in the Premier League. Yep. And Mr. Ripper here saying he didn't fit the Prem. And I agree. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. I don't put him in the category as a bad player. I just think that the league wasn't a good fit for him. You saw when he tried to push forward, he couldn't get back quick enough as well to help out Tyler when they were playing together. So he would leave Tyler Adams isolated in that midfield to deal with the counter attack. One of the many counter attacks we suffered in the Premier League. So listen, good luck to him. He seems like a good guy, but yeah, I think Real Betis and the Spanish league is where he needs to be. Ben saying, what's a guaranteed Marc Roca will end up smashing it next season, always the way. Yeah, I think he might have a good season, Ben. I don't dispute that. I don't doubt that. Because I actually do think he's a good player. I've seen him be a good player, more so when he was at Espanyol. And that's why I just think that it's going to suit him better being back in Europe again. Jacob here saying, dude never got fit enough for the Prem, couldn't get back. True. How many goals did we concede from cutbacks to the edge of the box? Yeah, he was a big part of that, because when he did get dispossessed up the pitch, which happens, that's nothing on him. That happens when you're trying to attack, you will get dispossessed. But he didn't have the wheels on him to get back and help out Tyler. So yeah, it wasn't a good fit. It wasn't good for him, but good luck for it. Good luck to him. Bubba. Jesus. Moved like he had the entire club on his shoulders. Yeah, he wasn't quick. But I've always said you don't always have to be the quickest, but it depends on the system you're in. It really does depend on what kind of system you're in. And Leeds, over the past few years, we're always trying to play quick, fluid football. That just wasn't him. But yeah. And yeah, Andrew, 100%. Premier League is unforgiving. Yeah, 100%. And we found that out, didn't we? We found that out many times, people, many times, by not even the best players on the planet as well. Absolutely unreal what gifts we allowed to give out. But yeah, so there's that. I see a lot of people talk about Ryan Manning in here. I will just quickly touch on that. The link that I've seen is not by anybody that I've seen that I see is credible. So I can't really go into it too much. But apparently he's been at Southampton today. Now I don't know whether that means he's going to sign for him, or whether he's just going around trying to look at potential places where he's going to land. But it's a shame if we do miss out on that one. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world, though, people. There are other left backs out there. Always try and make that clear. But it would be a shame if we let this one go, especially on a free transfer. I think he would be excellent for what we're going to be trying to do under Daniel Farke. I think he'd fit in beautifully under Daniel Farke. So listen, we just got to keep an eye on that one, see how that goes, see if any credible people come in. And we're going to move on to someone credible too, about more credible people. Let me just say, Jason C here, become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Jason. Big shout out and thank you for the support. Memberships are in the description. I also will be relaunching the FPL. I will get my team together. I'll try and do it sometime today. Okay, I'll try and get it done sometime today. Redo the league, and I will be trying to get into the top 200. Yeah, someone left a little cheeky comment on there saying you're going to try and get in the top 200 this season. Why I oughta. Why I order? I'll be taking it serious this season, people. I will. But thank you so much, Jason, for joining the channel. Much appreciated. David here saying, trust Farker, he will have his own targets 100%. Well, yeah, exactly, David. This is what I'm trying to say. We don't know what the 49ers are going to do, and we also don't know who Daniel Farker's looking at. I find it very hard to believe that Daniel Farker and the 49ers have got together and they've leaked a few names out to journalists, especially in the position we're in the championship, where obviously Leicester and Southampton will probably look at those players as well and go, maybe we could go and get one of those too. They will have targets that we have not even heard of or not even considered. So it's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what they're looking to bring in and what they see needed to be put in place around the better players that we've got and who we can possibly keep. I don't know. I don't know who we're going to keep. That's the thing as well. And speaking of that, I'm going to go on to Willy Gnonto now. Because again, this Willy Gnonto thing, I'm not putting it on the screen because it's not by anybody that I consider credible, and it seems to be more Everton fans that are pushing the prop. But I don't really want to talk about that as such, but it's more the price tag. And for me, this again goes to it just can't be a real price tag. 22 million euros, which is around 18 million pounds. Nah, that can't happen. We've had it under previous ownerships. We're not having it under the 49ers, and I would hope that they would know that that can't be it. And for anyone that says that we only paid so much for him, so that would be a good return, that's just not how football works. You go, if you wanted that player for that amount, you should have scouted him for that and got him for that amount, but you haven't. He's now at Leeds United, and yes, we fall into the championship. But when I'm seeing certain players being linked with 40 million pound moves or 25 million, or even McNeil last season moved for 20, if you're trying to tell me that Willy Gnonto is less than McNeil, not having it. And this is somebody who is under contract for a long time. He has got no relegation release clause, so we're under no pressure to sell him. I will reiterate, don't keep players that don't want to be here 100%, but we've got to stop being the club that gives away good talented players for cheap money. All through my Leeds United time of supporting them, we've done this. Obviously, the first era was the Ridsdale one where it was in financial trouble, so that was bound to happen. We're seeing top quality players moving for pittance. But then even through the years, whether it be Howsam, Snodgrass, Becchio, Beckford leaving on a free, or whoever it may be, Bradley Johnson moving on a free, we've always let players go cheap. And that's why when someone like Jack Clark got sold for 10 million, who was worth nowhere near 10, you got to celebrate like a win, because we don't sell players properly. Even to our most recent history in Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, okay, he gave us another year to get up. He gave us another year when we stayed up, and you probably figured into the price of saying thank you so much, okay. But Rafinha, no one else was selling him for that price. No one else was selling him for that amount of money. So it's time that we start getting the real value for the players that we're producing. And for me, 18 million don't cut it. And Stephen here saying sideways move for Gnonto. What I always say about that kind of thing, Stephen, and just hear me out on this one. I know that Everton keep flirting with relegation. I know they do. they do it, aren't they? They keep edging. They keep edging towards relegation. And as everyone knows, when you edge too much, eventually it's going to come. All right. And eventually it's going to happen for Everton. And listen, you even look at a sign like Ashley Young. It's like they're saying, ooh, how much further can we edge towards relegation without actually going? They're due, aren't they? But at the end of the day, the facts are they have never been relegated from the Prem. They're in the Premier League now. We're in the Championship. So I know what people are saying with the sideways moves, because we could possibly go up and Everton could come down. But at the same time as well, we could easily not go up and Everton could stay up again. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you have to look at it right now. Willy Gnonto would probably prefer to be in the Premier League. I'm very sure he would. And I'm sure he wouldn't get treated the way that he got treated here under Javi Gracia and the rest of just ridiculous. No one else would have, again, we talk about prices of players leaving. No one else would have an asset like Willy Gnonto and just stick him on the bench in a must-win game at the end of the season. It's incredible what happened. But he's worth more than 18 million pounds easily. I'm not hearing 18 million for Willy Gnonto. If he's going, it has to be for at least, if you're talking Harvey Barnes for 35 to 40 million, I need to see that around that mark. I don't care about Harvey Barnes' age or how long he's done it in the Prem. Willy Gnonto's ceiling is high, and we've got to take advantage of that. Because remember, you're not just paying for what you've got now, like we've done with Jorginho Rutter, you pay for the potential as well. And that's how we've got to do it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Phillips' injury record did affect his price too. Yeah, there's factors in the Calvin Phillips one. I accept that one, but the Rafinha one, come on, man, 60 mil. Richarlison got sold for 60 mil, and Rafinha is 10 times the player of Richarlison. Mr. Ripper saying at least 30 million for it. Yeah, I mean, if it's 30, I need to see like some add-ons in there. I need a sell-on clause on that. I just feel, but the rumored 22 million euros, 80 million pounds, nah, not for me, people. I mean, what are you saying? Yeah, I mean, random guy here will have to offer Gnonto improved terms to stay. And yeah, 100% you would. You'd have to get him to sign a new deal to stay here. And it shouldn't be that way. You should always say, listen, you've got your new contract when you first signed here, play. But you know how it goes. When there's interest elsewhere, you have to offer improved terms. And I'm sure his agent then would put in a non-promotion clause in there, or if a team in the Prem offers so much money, then he can go. That happens. But yeah, for me, it's important that we do business properly. We have to start doing it. I'm sick of Leeds United always being that team that has these really good players and we sell them for cheap. We've done it so many times. Delph, Aaron Lennon, Paul Robinson. It's how many times can we keep doing it? Darren here saying it's just Everton fans treatment. They can only afford Ashley Young. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it's more Everton prop on the social media in terms of Willy Gnonto. Like I say, I haven't seen any, as I speak to you now, just before 3 o'clock. I haven't seen any credible reporter say about Willy Gnonto to Everton. So that's why I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking more the price and what I would expect Willy Gnonto to go for. Yeah, I mean, Jacob here, 18 million for Gnonto will be like a 20 million loss, not a 15 million profit. Exactly, Jacob. If everyone was to look at football like that, then Southampton shouldn't be requesting 50 million for James Ward-Prowse. They should be accepting anything because he came through the ranks. It just doesn't work like that in football. It doesn't work like that. And Carlos here saying raise Gnonto's salary, put promotion bonuses there, and let's go keep the lad. That's what I would do, Carlos. That's one I would do that with a few players I've mentioned already. If you could possibly get Rodrigo to stay, I'd give him a hefty promotion bonus. Josh Doig at left back, I would absolutely put in a promotion bonus in there. Say enjoy your money and when we go up, because the 49ers are good for it. You got to believe they're good for it. But yeah, it's going to be like that with a couple of these players that stay. They're going to have to get improved contracts. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Back of the net saying, don't want to see him go, but 35 and upwards Italian international who is their poster boy. Yeah, 35. I can absolutely hear. I can hear that all day long. Back of the net, 35, and you've got to believe there'll be add-ons or a sell-on clause in that. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But below 20, 25 million, nah. Not having that. By the way, back in the net, I saw Eric Bakker on the last day. He was there. I think he was doing media for maybe a Norwegian station. I'm not sure. He looks like he could still play. He looked in real good shape, man. But yeah, shout out to you. Mr. Anthropy saying that's why Crescencio will want to leave up their contracts. Yeah, I think the only rumor I've seen for Crescencio is going back to Holland. And I'm not sure whether that coincided with that report coming out after he was unsettled. And I did know that, by the way. And I did want to say something, but I didn't. It's obviously only just come out. But that's why he had trouble settling when he first came to the club. But yeah, I think the only one that's been linked with Crescencio at this point in time is Feyenoord, isn't it? So we'll see. Paul here saying, yes, our previous transfer dealings have been ridiculous in the main. Hope the 49ers get it right. 100%. It's not just one owner, it's all of them. It's literally been like I say, the whole time I've supported Leeds United, we have not had a good selling. We have not been selling players for the amounts they should have gone for. Not even close. Not even close. Or we let their contracts run down and they've gone on a free. Absolutely criminal with some of them as well. So let's just see what happens there, and we'll see if there's any credible links. I'm hoping by the end of the day that we're linked with somebody, with a firm link for the first team, and we can talk about that. But kind of get the feeling that we're going to be closed for business for the rest of the day, unfortunately, with the kit launch being today. But We'll see. Yeah, random guy saying Everton need to sell before they can buy. Hearing is in October for FFP. That's another point as well. But that's their problem. That is their problem. They need to sell whatever they can. I'm not sure what they have to sell. Uh, that's why I'm saying Everton they're not a good team, and how they've survived over the last couple of years, I have no idea. Just trying to think of their saleable assets. Jordan Pickford, yeah, yeah. I don't rate him, but yeah, he'd be a sellable asset, wouldn't he? But hasn't he just signed a new contract there? Yeah, Anana, yeah. Yeah, it's very little, isn't it? I think Calvert Lewin would be one, but he's always injured, isn't he? But unfortunately for them. But yeah, so that is all I wanted to say on the Willy Gnonto stuff, because again, not been mentioned by anyone credible. And listen, shout out to all you guys, man, because you know what, my mic was down on the last video and no one mentioned it, so that's very kind of you, unless you just felt bad for me. But it's because something installed on my laptop and it knocked the noise down, which is really weird. I'm not sure why it did that, but hopefully you can hear my voice booming again. Yeah, we like it raw here, and no protection. Don't need that. Hear my deep sultry voice. um let's have a look. Mr. Tom. That's deep, Mr. Tom. That is deep. Everton surviving almost wound me up more than us going down. They just have so many lives. They just have so many lives where it doesn't matter how close they are to relegation, they just won't go. They're not going anywhere. Maybe their luck will run out this season, but the problem is there's a few teams that have gone up this season. Who is it? Sheffield United, Luton, and Burnley. Okay, maybe Burnley may be all right. But Sheffield United are absolutely struggling to buy players. They are having to run it back with some of the players that were there when they got relegated last time. So that could be a very tough task for Sheffield United this season. Luton Town, lovely story and everything else like that. And shout out to them. But it's looking unlikely, isn't it? And then you've got other teams that are improving, Bournemouth and everyone else like that. They might be okay again. They might be okay again, which is just their luck, just their luck. But yeah, is there anything else? Anything else that I need to go through? Yeah, I mean, just for anyone there, I do know about the Paulson possible incoming, or Bamford possibly going. Again, no, it's not by anyone credible, so I'm not going to speak about that on here until it's reported in much more reputable places. I'm sorry, I just can't do it to you. I always, every summer I always think maybe I could just report on anything that comes on rumor sheets or anything, but I just can't do it to you. If I'm not interested in it, I'm not going to try and make you interested in it either. So we'll wait until any firmer links come out for those guys. And Richard here saying, hi, KG, march on together from Helsinki, Finland. Shout out to you in Finland, man. Love that. And Darren, yeah, this will be it. The 49ers just not revealing any info. Yeah. See, people have wanted this, but now we've got it. People don't want it. It's funny, isn't it? You're seeing all the panic, you're seeing all the where are the players, up until today, where's the kit? This is it. We've wanted somebody to be quiet. Otherwise, right now, we probably have Radrazani out there saying we'll probably be in Europe next season. You know what I mean? So, look, I do like it, but at the same time, please, let's get some incomings now. Let's get this squad looking like we're going to be ready for promotion. That is the aim for me. But listen, people, Karen, best news ever in Bamford Wed. Listen, and again, and that it would benefit me to report on that, wouldn't it? I would like to report on that, but there's just no credible link. It's just so loose. The thing is, I always say to people, there's certain clubs where you're always going to get interaction, and these people know it. So you'll always get interaction when it's Man United, whether it's Arsenal, Liverpool, all those kind of teams. Leeds fans love interacting with anyone. So even though I always laugh at those ones that say, oh, this guy, they'll reply under the tweet or something, this guy just wants interaction, don't give it to him. But you've just given it him, you know what I mean? But Leeds fans will always react, whether it's to say this is a load of rubbish or look at this clown, they'll always react. And people know that. That's why Leeds United get mentioned on social media so much, because the fans are very interactive. And that is, for me, that is one of those kind of reports. Simon, do you think we'll make Europe next season? I mean, if we win the cup, if we win a cup, yeah. Oh man, well, it depends. I mean, is Wales? I don't know. No, no. I don't know. Let's go up first and see. um, Random guy saying will be an interesting team Farker puts out in Oslo. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to say before we leave. Oh my days, some of the players that have come back for training, guys. When I saw Helder Costa, oh my lord. You know, you know when you forget that you've still got certain players. He's one of them. I couldn't believe it. Helder Costa back. Boy, oh boy. Mm. This is why. Hey, this is what Mr. Tom. It was like the Ian Wright thing where he saw his old teacher. I thought you were dead. This is how I felt when I saw Helder Costa. I was like, Lord have mercy. But that's what I'm saying. This squad, yeah, Poveda is still there as well. The squad is still taking shape. There's still players to go. There's still, and there will be players to come in, but we need to get it moving, man. We're almost on the mid-July. I thought there would be much more movement than this by now. But yeah, we'll see. Paul, we need to install a trapdoor at Ellen Road. It's the only way to get rid of Bamford. Jesus. You guys, man. Simon, we paid 10 million for him in the championship last time round. Is that Helder Costa? I think it was more than that, Simon. I think it was around 15 or 16. I think because if I remember correctly, we were paying for him over the length of his contract, which was around 4 years. So I think it was around 16. I could be wrong though, but yeah, we paid a lot of money for him, and just like with so many other players that perform well in other clubs, come to Leeds and the badge is too heavy for him. He was too weak for me, far too weak. Showed flashes of brilliance at times, but he was just meek, wasn't he? He was so weak on the ball. Now, let's hope he gets another move back out because I don't want to see that. Dr. Curious though saying Farker might get a tune out of Costa. We'll see. We'll see. Is there? I know Blinky Fish. Can't believe he's still a contract, but that's what we've done. Blinky Fish. We've hoarded onto players that we really should have gotten rid of the first year we came up to the Prem. You know, it wasn't a popular thing when I said it, but it was true. We should have got rid of quite a few because you can't be sentimental in this game, as we found out. We've paid the price for being sentimental, and look what's happened. We're back where we started again, and he's still here. Helder Costa, you know, mad thing, absolutely brazy. But yeah, is there anything else, people? Is there anything else that you guys want to discuss before we get out of here? Yeah, done the Ryan Manning thing. Yep. Danny Rick. Yep. Yeah, I think that is it, people. I think that is it. But yeah, so listen, people, I'm going to end it there. Please hit a like on the video before you go. Best way to help out the channel, best way to support as well. And yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop your comments on anything discussed today, people. Let me know what you think about the show today. Thank you so much. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. See you in the next one. Peace.